Today we're going to see what it looks like when you delve within the inside of a human body. Everything from the pearly whites to the brain and beyond. We're going to take a nice in-depth fly through of what this map really looks like and why it resembles a very beloved map in the Garry's Mod community. That's right, you guys know what I'm talking about. The map known as You Are a Virus Inside Joe, one of the most absolute amazing maps. One of the first Garry's Mod maps I ever downloaded. I went to garrysmod.org, I saw it on the front screen, and I had to download it. This is kind of a spiritual successor slash remake of it, because in my mind, it does a lot of things better. For one, the teeth look really cool, and this is the inside of the mouth obviously. We have the tongue here, and then we have the uvula. But as we enter this room, we can see that there are a lot of shafts we can take. Down the esophagus perhaps, or through the ear tunnels. At least that's what I presume they are, but there are these tunnels that wrap all the way around and go into a brand new area, the sinuses. Here we have a nice little void, and this goes right into the two nostrils, which then go out into, well, I presume, the outside world. Now, I do believe this edition of the nose is new to the map. I don't remember seeing that in the original, but these tunnels do eventually converge back to the same area we were just at. However, if you do instead take a left instead of a right, you're going to notice that it leads to a new path, and this is going to take you throughout a large portion of the body. Now, I presume this is like an eardrum or something. I'm not exactly sure. But we can see some red blood cells flowing through this artery, and we can take this all the way up, and, well, here we are, right at the brain. Now, in my opinion, not only do the teeth look better in this map, but so does the brain. It just seems so much more vast, covers a lot more area, and we can see these stalks that eventually connect to the eyeballs, which you can go into. And I think this is pretty damn awesome. Again, a pretty massive upgrade from the original. Just this massive chamber feels really cool, just knowing that you're inside some random dude's noggin. So one thing you're gonna notice is there's going to be a lot of different pathways to take throughout the map. We can go down the esophagus here, or we can take these, I presume to be arteries, all the way down. Although these ones in particular do shove you all the way down. However, on the left side, you're going to see another artery that does instead take you up. So it's kind of like an elevator. One goes down, one goes up, and you can take whichever one you need to get to where you need to go. Now me, I'm definitely more of an esophagus guy. However, if you go ahead and instead take a stop, you're going to find yourself in a very weird and moist blue tunnel. And this, of course, takes you to the lungs. We are now within one of the lungs, and we can see a lot of interesting structures here. It resembles the lungs somewhat, and you can just kind of hang out here. It's pretty nice. This map is meant to be walked around, of course. You don't need to fly everywhere. So this does end up leading to a whole nother path. But I do want to mention that yes, there are of course two different lungs, and nothing seems to be weird with this one like in the original. It looks like one of these branches were like completely ripped off on the original map. Now the two lungs are connected together through this chamber that then goes into where the heart is, but we're not ready to go there just yet. Because if you instead take the esophagus all the way down and skip the lungs, you're going to find you land right smack dab in the stomach. And just like with the original map, we can see a lot of burgers that were chewed once and then just swallowed whole, which I think is just so funny. Love the mist effect with the stomach acid. We do get a few different ways we can go. We can go into the intestinal tract by simply going all the way down to the stomach. Or instead we can climb these burgers up into a new passageway. And through this path you're going to notice a lot of red blood cells, and this is going to take you a bit to traverse. But we do have two different pathways. We can take this, which this one actually lifts us up, but we can see just how deep that trench is. And this, well, if you're not careful, should take you to the chamber with the heart. Here it is, guys. This is where it all goes down. And there's a few cool things here. For one, we do have this lift, which you're going to need if you want to, well, get anywhere. Because this one is shooting down, so you're not going to be able to go up this way. However, if you were to instead take the lift all the way up, you're going to find one of the two major arteries that, you guessed it, acts like an elevator. It's that one we saw earlier, and this is going to take you all the way back up to the brain. So now we've come full circle, but what about the intestinal tract? And well, there's kind of two ways to go there. If you go back to that tunnel that we were just in that led us to the heart, you can instead keep going forward, and what you'll find when you go down is you enter a brand new chamber, although this one is quite a ways down. But once you do eventually get here, well, what do you know? This is the large intestine, although we have kind of skipped a lot of the way to get here. However, I did forget to mention that there is a third pathway you can take, and this is going to take you into a pretty unique organ, one that wasn't even, well, in the original map. And after you take this tunnel, you'll find a large space, which I can only presume to be, well, the liver. Well, I could be wrong, but you guys tell me. From the way that this is positioned in the body, it looks pretty livery to me. And the liver is connected to the intestine right here. And then, well, you can go down the watery path and see where it takes you. Or instead, you can go the stomach way, which is what I'm going to do. And, well, we're going to delve into the bowels of this map, literally. And here we are. We are now in the intestinal tract, and we can see some of the drumsticks that the man hasn't fully digested yet, but I assume eventually will. Now, once you do find yourself through these winding tunnels, which, by the way, these textures look way more realistic than the original map. Again, just a massive upgrade. We have finally arrived. This is going to be the deeper part of the intestines, and this is when things get a little wet. Now don't worry, because they're not going to be wet long, although then they're going to be wet again. Now oddly enough, this leads into an empty chamber. This could be any sort of thing. Hell, for all I know, this could be the bladder right here. It doesn't really show up when you go out of the map, so I'm not too sure exactly what this is supposed to be. So this could be the appendix as well. Now that I realize it is a dead end and it's connected to the intestinal tract, but instead we're going to go all the way down. And this is what happens when you do. For one, you're going to see a few breaches here. This area is going to take you all the way back up to where we just were, that really long corridor. In fact, this should take you all the way back up to the heart. Just be wary, because it's probably going to end up taking you all the way to the brain instead. But if you want a quick way back to the top of the map, this is definitely going to be your best bet. But we have wormed our way all the way to the bowels of the map. And well, here it is, the exit. Now we are in a toilet. Now of course, for monetization's sake, I'm not going to look up. However, it does not resemble that part of human anatomy as well as you might think. So at least that's a bit of an improvement. But as we go into the toilet, well, we're going to now go beyond the human body, because there's more to be found within the septic system of this man's house, because it eventually leads back into his nose? Alright, that was a lot to go over, so why don't we do a quick overview of what this looks like from the outside. Pretty scary stuff. We can see the nose, the mouth, the brain, the eyes. Everything's really kind of in the right spot. Down here we can see the heart, as well as the lungs. And then going down even further, we can see the stomach, and again what I presume to be the liver, judging by its shape and where it's located. And then we can see the long hallways that all kind of interconnect, creating the entire digestive system, which is kind of crazy how much it really takes up of the body. And then finally it goes down and culminates into the rectum. Nice. So the next time that you guys think about exploring a human body, hey, why not check out this map and see if that piques your fancy? But as always, if you guys do want to leave a like or subscribe, you totally can. Links are in the description. It was really cool to kind of see a remake of this map after all these years. Use code NecrosVideos to save 20% off your next G Fuel order. I'll see you guys in the next video, and until then, thanks for watching, and farewell.